Welcome, everyone. Welcome. This is Grandmaster Jessie Bowen with the American Martial Arts Alliance and Elite Publications. This is our Becoming Author podcast. I'm here with my co-host and partner, Natalie McQueen. And, we've been really in this past year, really talking to a lot of people about publishing, about how to publish a book, why you should publish a book, telling your legacy, telling your story. And so each week we have a guest or we have some vital information to stimulate you to fulfill your author dreams. Hey, Natalie, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Jessie. I'm super excited about today. We've got lots of good things going, and then we have a very special guest that is a Canadian.
And everyone remember that, hang in there because we have Hunchy Tom Fleming that's going to be our guest. If you don't know him, he is the new president of the Canadian Karate Association. They're doing a legacy book, and we're going to be talking about the book and how he wants to have this book to impact his organization. So if you have an organization and you feel that preserving the history in your organization is important, then this is what we do at Elite Publications. Of course, we do the Who's Who in the Martial Arts book. We have the event in Vegas. So, we have a lot of things that we do. So we're expanding that out to other organizations to share with them the power of how to gather all that information and knowledge. If you have inductees in, Sifu Allen Goldberg, we do the books for his organization, new book coming out in January. So, this is going to be a good program. So remember, check it out. A lot of great information. So what's going on your end, Natalie?
Well, I had a very exciting day yesterday. So it started August 8th. My grandmother turned 104 years old, as we talked about before. And I had sent her some of my blank journals and said, Grandma, just write some of your stories in here. And when my book was published in February, I had sent her that book. And she said, your book has inspired me. I want to write my story. So I said at that point, Grandma, you're 103. We need to get busy. So she wrote 96 pages handwritten in one of the journals. And my parents drove 5 hours, took pictures of those, transcribed into a manuscript, and we put the family pictures in that she wanted. And then I had the books delivered to my parents' house. So they drove 5 hours back, and that was yesterday, and gave the book. She wanted it just to look like, I'm like, Grandma, you don't want your picture on the front? She goes, no, I want it to look like your journals. And Marion Strong. So this is an example of, this is not an international bestseller. This is a very thin little book of, I'll give you a little glimpse of my grandma. She's the cutest thing. And it's her stories and stuff for family. So yes, it's on Amazon. So it just makes it easy for family and friends to get a copy. But we've got her a case of books, and now she can sign and give away her story and her little back of the book, like a published author she is. So it's just amazing. At 104, she's still sharing her stories, still building her legacy, and it's just incredible. So wow. That was the highlight of my week.
Well, that's what makes this so exciting, the discovery, and that we're at a time that you can do these things, sharing your legacy. I know for you, having your grandmother to, transcribe her experience, give them to you, and then your daughters having this, you get this snapshot of where we've been. And this is what makes history and legacy so important. And if you take that away, that, everything is gone, because we have to start all over and do something different. So when we began to share that information about, about our personal journeys, our life journeys. We have a book that's coming out. We just released a book last year, Elite Black Belts in America, and then that book we share the secrets to life, the secrets to leadership, and the secrets to business. So there's so many things that we can actually do about legacy, and that's what our whole thing is that as Elite Publications is helping people to be able to tell their story, and now legacy, build a foundation and build value behind the stories.
Absolutely. And when I talk to people about leaving their legacy, it's the good, the bad, the ugly, because where you are, no matter if you're a business, a Canadian Karate Association or whatever, you started somewhere and you built, probably made some mistakes along the way, learned from those mistakes and kept building, brought in better people, and that's the beautiful part when you share all of those pieces to your daily life, to your, company's formation to where it is, and then bring in people to share their part or their why that is so important to them, then you're really giving a bigger piece of that legacy. And it's something that's historical. If you don't share your family's history, traditions, stories, and then something happens to you, those go with you. So it's really important. And that's why I love what I do. And Jessie, you've done some beautiful compilation books, bringing in all different voices into one subject. And I know you have a book there.
Yeah, and one of the books we just released is the Cynthia Rothrock book, which was an amazing book. It has over 100 martial artists sharing their stories, sharing how Cynthia Rothrock impacted their lives, right, sharing how the martial arts has impacted their lives. And then we just finished the magazine. And with the magazine, the magazine is about Michael D. Pasquale Jr. It's a book we have coming out in January as another focus, but to tell his life story from his friends, Alan Goldberg, Cynthia Rothrock, Randy Robinson, people sharing his story. Natalie, you got a great article in this magazine. So this magazine is really packed with things. Now, the book and the magazine, you can go to Amazon and get your copy of it. You can go to our website, Who's Who in the Martial Arts, and pick up a copy also of the magazine. So these are just a few things we have going on. So remember, get your copy. The magazine made the Amazon bestseller list. The book made the Amazon international bestseller, even in France. We never get bestseller in France. And we want to share. Yeah, and we want to share with you not just about writing a book, but to explore how writing a book can change your life. Mm-hmm. How writing a book can change your life. You can check us out at Elite Publications. That's www.elitepublications.com. Hey, Natalie, you ready to bring our guest on?
I am.
All right. So today, everyone, we have a special guest that's going to be with us, and that is Hunchie Thomas Fleming out of Canada.
Yay.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Very good. Thank you, Jessie, and thank you, Natalie, for having me on with you.
Absolutely. Thank you for joining us. And I know you're not in Canada right now.
No, I'm in Jamaica right now. I'm down here on a bit of a holiday at my
Very villa. Nice. Enjoying family.
Thank you.
Yeah.
See, that's the reason I hang out. I hang out with all the good folks, see. So he's already offered me the villa and all that good stuff. So hey, and again, he's creating a legacy because what you have your family with you. So it's not just you, but you're But this is what legacy is about. When we look at that your grandkids having that opportunity to create some memories with you hanging out in Jamaica.
Yeah, that's why we're trying to get this Canadian Karate Association legacy book going. And it was, if you want me, I can tell you how it all got started and involved.
Yeah, yes, sir. Please do.
years ago, when Hanshi Fern Claroux, my teacher, he was president of the CKA, the Canadian Karate Association. He was in the hospital just before he passed away, and I spent hours with him. And he said to me, he said, there's got to be a way, Tom, that we can preserve and remember all the people that go back from the late 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s in the CKA until present date. And he says, can you think of anything we can do? And I said, I don't know. And he says, how about if we put a book together and do it with all the records we have and everything? And I said, Fern, I don't know how to write a book. I'm not educated in that field of it. I don't know how to do it. And so I was talking to different people after Fern passed away. And it was always in the back of my mind of what I can do. And people like Gilles Levine, Bill Wallace. Bill was the one who told me to reach out to you. And that's when I went to Vegas, and I learned by watching your seminars. And Jeff Madden and I were sitting together, and he was saying, you should do something, Tom. So I said, I'm going to try this. And basically it's to bring all those fabulous people that were involved in the CKA, in the executive, the directors, the people on the teams that fought for the Canadian Karate Association in Canada, United States, Europe, all over the world they competed. The inductees over the years, this type of thing, and try to bring their story together. And this is what this whole thing is about. And no one's taken a dime from it. It all goes to the CKA. And it's a work of love, basically, that Fern wanted to have so that nobody would ever be forgotten if they join this legacy book. And that's how it started. And it's going great guns. There's been so many people calling me and applying online. People I hadn't heard of from years are now joining this legacy book to have their bios put in. And I look forward to even more people. And one of the big questions I get is that when they see it and they go on there and they go to register, what are they getting for the money? And I said, well, basically, you're getting your legacy put in the book. But I said, you're paying for Jessie's team, like all the editing, the graphic designs and everything. That's not done for free. And this is what you're paying for. And when this book gets completed, it's going to be sold on so many sites. And your family, your students, your members, different black belts can read about you. And the response has been really, really good. And I just wanted to reach out to more of them and to let them know about this book.
Right.
And thank you for having this podcast with me about it.
Absolutely. What authors don't understand, or what people coming into a compilation book don't understand, is not only you're being put in a piece of history that can be read and enjoyed for generations, but they themselves will gain credibility from being in the book. They'll get exposure and visibility from the people reading, from the book being marketed. And that's what Elite Publications and Gifts of Legacy, as we put the book together and then market it and launch it, it gives a lot of exposure. And we do interviews and everything to give that book, a limelight and get other people interested in reading it and sharing that legacy.
Well, that's what we're trying to do. Is but when I'm talking to some of the members that go way back, like back to 69 and 70, when it was first put together by Andre Langelier, Fern Claroux, and George Sylvain, the founders. I mean, these are the foundation of karate in the Outaouais area and jiu-jitsu later on with George Sylvain. Sorry, these people really, really started something, and their biggest thing was to try to bring martial arts together, and this is how they did it. They tried very hard, and then other people took over when other people stepped down and tried to promote the same thing. And this whole Canadian Karate Association is based on volunteer. Nobody gets paid a dime in it. It's a nonprofit organization that's been registered since 1970 and incorporated in 84. It was incorporated, and it's an organization that people put their time in, and they try to promote well-being, but also promote friendship between different styles and organizations. And I've been quite fortunate to meet so many wonderful people over the years. I started in 1970 in the association as a first degree black belt when I joined, when Andre signed me up. And I've been very fortunate from Hanshi Claroux, from taking me all over the Europe, Canada, United States with him to competitions, from the Battle of Atlanta, you name it, we did it. And this is in the book. And if you want to be part of it, please, please, please just go to CKALegacyBook.com, and you can register online, and your bio will be put in there so that your friends and family and students can read about you.
Perfect.
Well, I know from the perspective as a martial artist, I know you have a lot of clubs and a lot of different owners of the clubs, but this is a great way to, to build martial arts in the communities. So by being featured in these legacy books, because, you can give these away to the local libraries. So you can, and we can have this in the Library of Congress, so universities, bookstores can have access to this information. And from this, you can now grow your martial arts school. Because one of the things I always think about a book is it's not like a business card. It's like a giant business card. So when you now gift this, and this is what you want to do, it's not always about how many books that I sell, because someone may not know the value of what you have. But now when you gift this to the library, you gift this to the Boys and Girls Club, you now gift this. Now, when your students, every student, that's in a club or in a school, their leadership team should have a copy of this book and start teaching this in the classroom. So who are some of our leaders? And I really want to take and congratulate you, because you are the new president for the CKA. So again, congratulations on that. Congratulations on 10th degree black belt. Now, all these things are really historical things, and there, so the book will be able to shed that light. They can update their information, who they are now. And I think, whatever the theme is that they want to share, this is a great opportunity. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity for martial artists, especially in the Canadian Karate Association, to be able to share who they are and to really be able to stand out. And again, because this is a nonprofit organization, so the things that you're doing with the book is to support the organization so that the players, competitors, they can have a great opportunity to travel some of these other events. So everything that's going in here is about is improving and promoting everyone in the organization, and not about promoting you, but it's really about promoting the growth and development of your organization.
Oh, that's exactly right. Sorry, Natalie. That's exactly right. We're trying to promote it and let people know that this organization is very strong, and it's been around since 1970. And so the actual first competition was 1969, but when it was actually founded and registered, it was 1970. And basically what I'm trying to do is give people the opportunity to promote themselves, to be able to show their family and friends and members of their clubs their story, and that it'll never be forgotten. And all the older ones that have come before us that have passed on, their stories will be in this book, and they'll be quite surprised in who's in there. And I've spoke to the family members and I've got permission to write about them. So please, if you were a CKA member, you had clubs in the CKA, you were on the teams, or you did seminars for us, you qualified to be in this book. And we'd love to have anything that you would like to tell in your story. We would love it.
And
so I learned from Jessie's story how karate inspired him to be something better and to kind of stand up for himself. And I've heard others when we were in Vegas share the impact. What I see with a book like this is every club in Canada should be using this, and at the start of a lesson, just flip a page and tell those children a story of that one person of the day, and then use it over and over and encourage those kids to grow in the art of karate or whatever form of karate and be their best selves and strive to be, someday have their own studio or bring karate into a kid on the playground that needs, that hand up to be able to be that better person. So I think it's just wonderful to have such a history put together in one book that you can share all over Canada.
And what a lot of people don't realize also is this isn't just about the champions, the people who won all the big competitions. Now
Right.
They're in there. They've already signed up and they're in the book. I mean, we're talking Harry Villeneuve and people like that, the Canadian champions who fought all through the States, and they're in the book, and Maurice Guédon and things like that. The thing is that it's about the club owners too. People that put their time and effort, or people that had competitions, tournament promoters that were part of the CKA. These people contributed so much to the growth and the strength of the CKA that they should be telling their story. And this is what this book is about. It's about all the different martial artists that were part of the CKA. And this is what we're trying to promote and trying to give them a legacy so people can look back and say, hey, he was in the CKA and look what he did. This is what his story is. And it's this type of thing that we're trying to promote.
I think it's fabulous.
Thank you. Thank you.
And in order to to get to the website, it's www.ckalegacybook.com. Again, that's www.ckalegacybook.com. Go, register your bio. It is a simple process to be able to do, but the rewards from doing that will change your life, will be very impactful. I remember going back to 2016 when we released the second book, and we started bringing people in that were competitors, and Grandmaster Joe Corley and Grandmaster Jeff Smith. They were really the big supporters of doing exactly what you are doing right now, sir, bringing those people together. This was in 2016. Now, you have to realize there was never scheduled to be a second book. We're just finishing up book number 9, going to book number 10. But from the impact of all of those people coming together, and I remember watching everyone reading the book, and they're reading stories about people that were in the book and saying, well, I never knew this about you. There's so many things that we don't know, about our martial arts friends. We've been friends for 25, 30 years, but there's so many things we don't know. So the book gives that opportunity to share our journey, and even the people that know us, close, they will discover things through our writings that they didn't know. So it was so exciting to do that. And this is what we want to bring to the Canadian Karate Association, is that getting to know each other, really building a bond and having something that's yours. You own this. This is your organizational book. And again, when you're in this book, it's a nonprofit organization. So you're doing something great for the martial arts community. You're doing something great for yourself. You're doing something great for your family. So this is a total win-win situation. And as we look out to other organizations that are looking to build a professional book, and not just writing a book. Anyone can put a book together, but it's the quality. And, with Natalie, she's our international director of bestsellers. And so we don't get your book, even if it makes #1 out there. And what that means is that getting a lot of people to read the book. So Natalie, what do we have? About 4,000 Kindle books that launch on Amazon every day.
Every day.
They go to the bottom. And so, this is another way of building the brand, the name of the CKA, to be able to get it out there. So Natalie, let's talk just a little bit, about that process, because, as we build this book, we want everyone to be involved. That's a part of the CKA and around the world. And that's what we're going to do. We're not going to just launch the book here in the US. This is a world book. So Natalie, why don't you share a moment? We have Hunchy Fleming here. Now, we haven't talked a lot about that, but, you launch a book, but you got to market a book. I mean, because if not, it's just a big doorstop. That's the only thing it's really good for, because you want people to read about your book to become knowledgeable.
Right. So compilation books are so much fun to launch because you've got the team within the book. And when you launch with us, we make all the copy for you. We make the pictures for you. So it's very easy. And we have kind of this drum beat before the launch. And then what we do is we reach out to readers all over internationally, and we do paid campaigns, and that gets readers that maybe wouldn't have even known about the book to go, oh, I like karate. Oh, this is interesting. It's a legacy book from Canada, and they will purchase it. And so that just gives that first momentum. And when everyone is doing that and sharing out about the book and sharing to their friends and family, the book gets so much more exposure in that period of time. And as Jessie said, over 4,000 books are published on Amazon every day. So to get through those 4,000 and hit the top and stay there for a while, you don't want it just to be you hit and then you're done, is have that momentum going, and then have those readers share with other readers. And then what Jessie said, invest in some marketing, because a book can be such a good constant form of revenue. I love every month when I look and Amazon says, your check is on the way. And it's like, awesome, But some people don't experience that because they told their 10 friends and family, and that's it. So it really does take some time and energy to get it out there. But the cool part is when you have a team that's within the book, it's so much easier. And then we give you all the tools to keep that momentum going. So I can't wait for this launch. I look forward to blowing you out to as many countries as possible. And yeah, and then just seeing the people within the book will be able to call themselves international bestseller of a compilation book. And so it's kind of like a degree, whether you use it or not. But when you're standing up there and it's one more accolade of being a part of something bigger than you. And often what we find is within the book, people end up meeting other people they don't know and doing bigger and better projects together, or taking the book and doing their own book signings in their area. So there's a lot of fun things that you can do as far as marketing. And Jessie has some very unique programs that we work together on. So I'm super excited.
Okay. Any last words from you, sir?
Just to say thank you to you both and your team. It's been a pleasure working with you. Jessica, who's in the background there, I know too. But anyway, thank you so much for everything. And thank you for this podcast. And I hope it gets out to everybody so they can see and get an opportunity for people that we might have missed to be part of this legacy book for the Canadian Karate Association. Thank you all again so much for everything you do.
Thank you.
And everyone, don't forget, September the 23rd, we have the online launch and awards presentation of the second edition of the Cynthia Rothrock book. So if you're a Cynthia Rothrock fan and you have not had a chance to have your bio in this book, then what you can do is go to www.who'swhointhemartialarts, and you can nominate someone there, and you can nominate yourself. You can nominate yourself and just put nominated by, put my name, because all bios are reviewed. And because there's so many people that we don't know in the martial arts community, and someone may not notice should nominate you. But if you want to be a part of this legacy book, in tribute to Cynthia Rothrock, go to www.who'swhointhemartialarts.com. At the bottom of the page, you can now nominate someone. You can even nominate yourself. Deadline is coming up in the next week on the 23rd. We will have the online presentation that everyone in the book will have an opportunity to do. And guess what? We have one of our special instructors, because we're going to have seminars going on. Will be Hanshi Fleming, will be one of our instructors. So, I've almost forgot about that. So I'm going to be doing a class. Hanshi's going to be doing a class. We got Dana Abbott doing a class. We have Daryl Sullins doing a class. So you'll have a chance during that time to have classes with 4, masters in the martial arts that's, with some very valuable information to share. So remember that September the 23rd. So get your nominations in now for the second edition of the Who's Who in the Martial Arts tribute book to Cynthia Rothrock. Well, that's it for me, everyone. And, be blessed. And, let us know if you have questions, if you want to become a published author, or if you have a book out there and you want support to get your book. Maybe it's a dead book, but you want to take and get the book with more life in it. Let us know. This is what we do. Natalie, again, is our international director of bestsellers. So we can get your book moving, take it to the next level. Hey, everyone, this is Grandmaster Jessie Bowen with Elite Publications. Special guest today, Hanshi Tom Fleming, and of course, my co-host, Natalie McQueen. See ya.
Bye, everybody.